Okay guys, so today I'm going to show you all a pretty cool trick. So this is what the trick looks like. So over here we have a deck of completely shuffled and different cards. So I can go ahead and give them one more pretty good mix up, just like so. But eventually I'm going to go ahead, spread the cards out here on the table, and I'd have the spectator pick out any card that they want. So let's say they wanted to pick out the 6 of clubs, for example. Now they can go ahead, and if I had a marker, I would let them sign the card. So that it would be the only card in the entire world that looks like that. And basically, we're actually gonna go ahead, leave the 6 of clubs here on the table, and I'm gonna go ahead and get out the other 3 6s, because the other 3 6s are actually going to help us out in the trick. So we have the 6 of spades, the 6 of diamonds, and the 6 of hearts, all 3 6s right there. We're gonna take the 6 of clubs, your selection, and we're gonna place it in between the other 6s, just like so, and leave that off to the side. So now, you're probably wondering here, I actually had a card underneath the box the entire time, and it was actually a joker. Now the reason why I had a joker there is because jokers are actually kind of unused in card tricks, but they're actually pretty magical. Jokers can also be considered wild cards, and wild cards could be cards that can change into any card in the entire deck. And as you can see, the box over here, nothing in the box, and the box is completely examinable. We're gonna go ahead and leave the joker right there underneath the box. Now, over here, we have the 3 6s and your selection. So basically the 4 6s and your selection, the 6 of clubs. Now, I'm gonna try something very magical with the 6s and the joker. Watch the 6, the face down 6. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. Completely vanishes from the pack. The 6s, only the 3 6s, meaning that the joker has transformed into your selection, the 6 of clubs. And now you can examine everything. All the 6s are here, and here is the deck. So that is the trick, guys, and now for the tutorial. Alright guys, so hopefully you liked the performance for that trick, and here's the tutorial for the trick you just saw. All you're gonna need for this trick is a deck with 52 cards, any joker, so just get out a joker, and then the card box with nothing in it. So basically just materials you can find in a normal deck of cards, so you don't need any like gimmicks or anything. So this trick is really cool. So this is basically how to do it. So you're gonna take the joker and leave it underneath the card box, and that is your only setup for the trick. So this trick can basically be impromptu, I guess, if you just wanted to start out, get a joker, put it underneath the box, and then you're all ready to go, because the deck is actually completely shuffled up. Once the deck has been shuffled, this is basically how you start out the trick. So you show all the cards are shuffled and all different. So you're gonna go ahead, spread out the deck for the spectator to choose a card. So they can go ahead and choose any card, and remember the deck is face up, okay? So this means that you can see what card they choose. It honestly doesn't matter, because you actually want to know what card they choose, because then it's going to help out, like, make sense for the next part of the trick when you get out like the 4 of a kind and stuff like that. So once you spread out the deck face up, you're going to want to note what the bottom card is. So in this case, I have a 10. The suits does not matter, you just want to know that it is a 10. Okay, so now I know the bottom card is a 10. So now they can go ahead and pick out any card. Let's say they want to pick out a 9. Now, the only reason why you note the bottom card is if they pick a card that has the exact same value as the bottom card. So let's say they want to go ahead and pick out a 10. So if they picked out a 10, just like this, and they put it here, you're going to want to actually take out the 10 and then give the deck a cut so that the bottom card is not the same value as their selection, okay? What's gonna happen if the card on the bottom is the same value as a selection like this? What you're gonna be doing basically is getting a break underneath the bottom card, and then you're gonna be getting into a double here. So you're gonna take these 2 cards as one, and then you're going to be taking the indifferent card and putting it on the table, but this is actually their selection on here. And now when you go to look for the other 3 10s, one of the 10s is actually going to be here on the table, and you do not want that. You do not want that at all. So you just want all of the other, like, 4 of a kinds you want all of them to be in the deck. You don't want one of them to be on the table. So you want an indifferent card on the table, which is why, for example, let's see. Okay, so I have a 5 here on the bottom, and this is very, very rare if they pick like a card that is the same value as the bottom card. They're basically just going to go ahead and pick out a random card. So let's say the 8 of spades. So now you're good. You don't have to cut the deck or anything. All you have to do now is riffle up, or before you put the 8 on, you can get a pinky break and then put the 8 on, and now you have a break underneath 2 cards, just like this. So now I have a break under 2 cards. I'm going to push them off, and I can twirl them around if I want to, but that's kind of an advanced move, so you don't really have to do that if you do not know how to do that. But you can go ahead, turn the card a bunch of times, and then take the double right here and put it on top of the deck, and take the top card and set it down. So now this is actually an indifferent card, and their selection is on top of the deck. So now you're going to say, so we're going to set your 8 of spades down as I look for the other 3 8s. So now you're going to go through the deck, and you're going to be looking for the other 3 of a kind, the other 8s. Now, let's say the other 8 was like right here on top of the deck with your selection, so that if you were trying to look for the 8 of hearts, you went all the way to the top, and then you flashed the selection in there. You just want to be really, really careful about it. If you're nervous about that, you can give the deck a little bit of a shuffle before you put the selection on top, but it's very, very rare. The selections should be pretty spread out if you give the deck a really, really good shuffle. So once you've taken out the 3 selections, you're going to set them on the table, set the deck on the table, and then you're going to be taking their selection. It's actually an indifferent card. It's just a random card. And you're going to be placing it in the 3rd position. So you're going to be placing it in the 1, 2, 3, 4. So the 3rd position, face down, and that's going to go right there on the table. And now you're going to pick up the deck just casually, and you're going to pick up the box, and you're going to explain what the card underneath the box was, and it was actually a joker. So now what you're going to be doing here is, it's kind of an advanced move. It's kind of hard. It's definitely going to need some practice. It's called a top change, and it looks something like this. Now you're probably going, oh, that's why he did a different camera angle for the performance, because if I did a normal camera angle, you would totally see the move just like that. I think the other camera angle, you probably might have seen it, but it definitely hid that motion. So basically what you're doing is you're switching out the top card for their selection. So, and you're going to be doing this as you pick up the box. So you're going to be explaining what the joker is and how it's a wild card and how wild cards can change into any card. So as you're talking, you're going to have the joker face up. Casually, as you're talking, flip it over so that it's face down. And as you're talking, you're going to push off the top card and catch a pinky break just like this, okay? So push it off, lift up with your fingers, readjust, and get your pinky in there just like that. So this is their selection. Now I have a break. So I'm gonna just be talking casually, and now I'm actually going to do the top change as I use my left hand here to pick up the box just like this and then set the joker down. But I'm going to be doing the top change at the same time. So the main rule for the top change is that the hand holding the single card cannot move at all. That's what makes the move look very, very natural. Because if you're going like this, if you say, okay, so just like that, yeah, that looks totally suspicious and totally weird. You want to be moving your left hand the entire time, and you want to keep your right hand holding the joker still the entire time. So once you have a break, this is basically the exposed view of what you're doing. What I like to do the top change, right as I'm about to come over and get the card, I'm going to kind of use my middle and ring finger here to lift up the card like pretty high up. And I'm going to tilt my wrist down like this. So it's not fully up, it's sort of down like this. And I'm going to use these fingers here to lever the card up, and I'm going to be squeezing it against my thumb here so that it doesn't fall down if I let go in any case. So I use my fingers here to lift up the card, and my fingers here are kind of open so that I have space to actually grab that card, because what I'm going to be doing is this. I'm going to lift up the card, and I'm going to basically put this card on top, use my thumb here to secure it, and then use my fingers underneath to grab the second card out as I move this hand forward to grab the box and show that it's normal. And then I'll say I'll put the joker underneath the box. And now I've just switched out the joker for their selection. So I'm going to go through that one more time. All right, so you have the joker here, and you have a break underneath their card. So you're going to be talking here, and you're going to lift up on the card, come over, and switch out the cards. But that was sort of a bad example because you want to use your left hand here to move the entire time. So lift up, keep moving your left hand and don't move your right hand at all. So you're going to keep your right hand stationary, just like this, as you grab the box. So one more time. This is the top change. You're going to keep your right hand stationary, lift up, and just switch the cards out and use your thumb to clamp down on that card as you grab the box, flip it over, show it off, drop the joker on the table, and then drop the box on top of it. And now the trick is almost done. All you have to do now is hide this card, which is actually an indifferent card, and then you show the 8 is under there. So how you're going to do this is you're going to show the card there. Their selection, the 8 of spades, it's actually an indifferent card. You're going to slide forward the first 8, and then slide forward the second, and then slide forward the third. So you're going to kind of spread them all out just a little bit like this. If you're holding the cards in mechanics grip, which you should be, by the way, your index finger is not really going to be able to reach this top card anymore, but it's going to contact this second card right here. And you'll notice that if you just push down on the card, you can actually push it down, and it's actually going to conceal that third card. And you don't have to worry about keeping it perfectly squared, because the card itself is actually going to stop you, and you'll be able to feel it, and that will mean that it's perfectly squared up with the third card, just like that. And all you're going to be doing here is you're going to use your index finger to push the card down as you cover it with your hand. So this is what it looks like in performance speed. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, and boom, it's gone. But all you're doing in exposed view is this. You're just going 1, 2, 3, boom, and then you move your hand away, and that's basically what it looks like. So now it looks like you only have 3 8s. So now you're going to square up the cards carefully, and now you're going to perform an Elmsley count because the card is in the third position. Perfect position for an Elmsley count. So the next step is the Elmsley count to hide that third card. I've done the Elmsley count tutorial like a million times on this channel. No pun intended. But if you guys want to know how to do the Elmsley count really well, go ahead and check out Hester Bear's tutorial for it. He has a really, really great tutorial for the Elmsley count. I just don't want to make this video super long and boring you with teaching you the Elmsley count, which you guys probably already know how to do if you're watching this video. You guys should pretty much know how to do the Elmsley count. It's a pretty simple move. But if you don't, go ahead and check out Hester Bear's tutorial. He has a really, really great tutorial on the move. So once you've done the Elmsley count, the card is going to be on the bottom, and you're going to just take the packet and set it on top of the face down deck, just like this. Now you're going to lift up the box and show that the joker has changed into their selection. Now you're going to spread out the cards here, and you can show off each 8. You can just kind of flip it over because there's no double-sided cards here. Really, really cool part about this trick is most people would think like the joker is on top, but it's actually second, because the indifferent card from the 8s, you actually dropped it off when you spread out the cards. So now you can actually show freely this top card is an indifferent card, and also the bottom card is also an indifferent card. Matching 5s, that was just a coincidence. If they're suspicious about the joker being like on top, you can show joker's not on top, joker's not on the bottom, and then you can just casually spread through the deck. But if you really do want to get rid of the joker in the second position, there is a way. It's just kind of complicated and unnecessary, but this is how I would do it. So the joker's not on top, and I would take the top card and actually just lose it in the middle. So I just move that joker to the top. Then I would say, and there's no joker on the bottom, and then I would do this move, which looks something like this. I would get a pinky break above the joker, just like so, move the entire deck back into my hand, and then move just all the cards above the break forward so that I'm leaving behind this joker. Then I can actually ditch this hand and bring my hand down to my side as I spread out the deck like this, but my hand would really be down to my side, but I'm just showing you in the camera what it would look like. So then you can show all these cards, and then you can just casually put your hands in your pockets, and then the joker really is gone. But you don't really have to do that. You can just leave the joker there in the second position and just get rid of it later. You don't have to worry about it right now. So that's basically the trick, guys. So the main portion of this trick you guys should practice is the top change, just getting it as perfect as possible, getting your angles right and all that stuff. So hopefully you guys like this trick, and see you guys for my next video. Bye.